Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation for the week ending the 10th of April. Tremendous. Now, this week has been strange. I've been particularly busy. And also it's been cold. And then it's been warmer again. So there's a few fragrances here you haven't seen before, I don't think. In the fragrance rotation anyway. You may have seen them in the background. But we will start at the beginning. That's usually where I like to start. Usually. So on Monday, I wore a classic. A Rich Mitch classic. A classic from the channel. Just wanted to buy time while I smelled it there. And that is Pavarot Sensational. What a fragrance. If you watch my videos and you haven't managed to smell this yet, you can just buy the minis. You don't have to splash out. They are out there. I think Le Parfumier still has them. Enchanté might still have some as well. I've got some. I've got backups of this a lot because I love it. I don't want to be without it. It's so well made. It's so different from most design. It's different from most designer fragrances. Yeah, it's different from most celebrity fragrances. The celebrity fragrances like Britney Spears and Ariana Grande and pop stars, you know, all of them sort of things. And I'm sure Lady Gaga's got a scent, but I bet that's different from everything as well, to be fair, but not necessarily in a good way. Yeah, this is brilliant, though. This is like classically brilliant. It's a patchouli honey fragrance, not pissy at all, but a little bit sweet, gourmand, fresh at the top, but not citrusy. Really nice, aromatic, beautiful, absolutely beautiful fragrance. Really like it. You can tell how much I like it because this is a 125ml bottle. And this is what I wore on Monday. I think Monday was cold. Actually, Monday might have been warm. But Tuesday was definitely cold because I remember getting up early on Tuesday and being like, oh my God, it's cold. So I decided to wear something that was quite good for the cold, but also still good for spring. I think this is a year-round fragrance, and it is an amber. But it's fresh, and you can wear this all year round, in my opinion. And this is the big boy of Ambre Nuit. I've got a decant, but I prefer showing the bottles. I think people like to look at bottles on fragrance channels. I used to think, like the presentation aspect of like fragrance videos was like overrated until I started doing them, and I was like, well, what else are you going to do on like the actual the visual aspect? If you don't show people the bottles, what else are you going to do? That said, if you've ever watched a live stream, you know that it's I don't do much for the visuals on a live stream. I just have the bubbles filter, the bubbles cast. But anyway, this is rose amber, meant to be an ambergris, but I don't see it. If it is an ambergris, it's an ambroxan, synthetic ambergris. It's not real ambergris. If you want real ambergris, you wear Ambre Supreme. This isn't like that. This is sweet. Strangely, I got a tobacco sort of vibe from it this week. I got like a dark leaf, a dark sort of sweet kind of leaf. I think it's starting to like change in the bottle, you know. It's been exposed to a bit of air. And as you can see, I mean, I've used quite a bit. I put it into these like 10ml decants. This one's actually in this, a little Travelo. These are like 30 quid. I managed to pick a couple up for £6 each, like, so otherwise I wouldn't have them. But I wish you could smell it. It's definitely got like some sort of tobacco vibe going on in it at the minute. Or that's what I'm picking up. Maybe I'm associating another note from another perfume that's got tobacco in. That's also in this, because I think that can happen too. Anyway, this is what I wore on Tuesday. On Wednesday. On Wednesday, it was cooler again, but it was still sunny though. And so I decided to go for another Italian. I think this is Italian. I'm pretty sure it is. It was certainly made in Italy. And this is Basil Uomo. Fantastic. Reminds us a lot of Smalto Porom. But it really is like without the Smalto licorice. There's like an anise licorice note at the top of Smalto Porom. That's quite strange that it's there, but it's good. It works. Duncan really likes an anise note as well, and he mentioned it a while back, and it hadn't been until he'd mentioned it that I'd actually paid attention to it, and then I was like, oh my god, it's there. But this is a smoky, aromatic fougere, Italian style, very Italian feeling, very fresh but a little bit smoky, oak moss. Not sure if there's a leather in there, but there's definitely a smoky kind of vibe, and it's really nice. I'm not sure where the smoke's coming from. I don't think it's birch, but it's in there somewhere. Performance is really good. Lasted all day. I think I reapplied it after about 7 hours because I was up early again on Wednesday. Yes. Wednesday. On Thursday, I wore a fragrance I haven't worn maybe for a couple of years. I don't think I wore this last year. And it was cold. It was cold on Thursday, and I was absolutely fed up with it being cold on Thursday. So I wanted something that was like warm but still fresh. And I went for Creed's Aberdeen Lavender. This is tremendous. I picked this up for like under £100. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Yeah, I picked this up for under £100 about 3 years ago, and it's absolutely fabulous. I love it. You can see how much I've used of it. It usually sits at the front, so you probably knew that this was coming. So yes, I really enjoy it. Lavender. It's a little bit like Caron's Pour Un Homme, and knowing Creed, it's probably their copy of it, But it hasn't got quite the vanillic sort of like powdery, lactonic, smooth, like little bit like Caron Pour Un Homme made me feel a little bit sick. This doesn't. This is more like this wears a little bit more fresh than Caron Pour Un Homme, which is a little bit warmer. So I like this more for that reason. This was made in 2013, I think, it was one of the people who Pierre Bourdon taught. Rasquinet, maybe? Or Jean-Christophe Herault. It was one of those people. They've now altered Fragrantica to accept that Oliver and Erwin Creed weren't the only people involved. Let's put it diplomatically and say it like that. But yeah, thank goodness at last, some justice for like real perfumers. Friday, I went with another debutant. I think this is the first time I've worn this properly since I got... It wouldn't be a video without that, would it? It's Eau de Hermes. Marvellous. Sorry about that, Eau de Hermes. Warm, very warm, spicy citrus at the top, then lavender. Really good fragrance. I have decanted this into a little 10ml atomizer because it's a splash, and I think you have to reapply this after about 6 hours maybe, even though this is a more vintage one. This is an older bottle. This is from, don't throw it around, I don't know, I think this is an early 2000s. I think it's got the copper cap. I also have a really old bottle, but it's only 25ml, and that's the pewter cap. These are ancient. I don't want to use that though because it's so old. You know, I might pour that into like a sample vial and use like a couple of mils of it. But I really like this. Is like it's not a mini. I think it's too big for a mini. It's like 25ml. You know. But it's right up there. Like, the smell's absolutely sensational. I might do a comparison one day. People seem to like the comparison videos of like different formulations. But anyway, this is like one of the great fragrances. It influenced, I mean, Edmond Rudnitzer made this. I want to say Edmund Rudnitzer. It's not Edward Rudnitzer, is it? I think that was his son. Rudnitzer the Elder made this in the 50s, 51 I think it was. And it has been massively, massively influential. It went on to influence things like Eau Sauvage, Declaration, basically everything that Jean-Claude Elner made, and Pierre Bourdon. So, yes, a seminal fragrance. Cumin at the top. Cumin and citrus. Somehow it works. I can't explain it. Like a fiery, hot citrus. That's what it smells like. Imagine you're like cooking lemons and stuff like that. Crazy. But like you can smell the heat. Yesterday I wore another fragrance which usually lives at the front of my collection. And that is Louis by Rochas. This is it's not long discontinued, but it's very discontinued. It's hard to find. You know, some fragrances are more discontinued than other fragrances. And this one's like very hard to find. But it's great. It's a brilliant amber citrus fragrance. It's brilliant for like the early days of spring and the early days of autumn. Because it's got that freshness at the top. It's really clever. It's got that freshness at the top. But it's got backbone, and it's got like I don't want to say a vanillic, but it is sort of like that kind of vanillic amber at the base as well. And the mid's like this fizzy, fuzzy kind of note. It goes from like bright citrus, clean, sharp, through this fizzy phase. So like the citruses are fizzy, like a lemonade type of thing. And then it goes from fizzy to fuzzy. So it's going from fizzy to like flat. And then when it gets to the flat, it's like a do you know, like a Coke float with like the vanilla with the vanilla ice cream in it? It's sort of like that. It's got the fizziness, and then it's got this like vanillic amber at the base, like a warm vanilla amber. It's beautiful. It's brilliant the way it's done. Absolutely brilliant the way it's done. But yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I've got a backup of it, so I'm a bit more willing to wear it. This is a problem I have. I might do a rambling video like Ramsey did yesterday. I thought that was great. Ramsey's Ramblings. I might do a rambling video about the paradox of vintage perfumes, how you get them and you love them, but you end up keeping them rather than wearing them. It's something I've always had to remind myself to, like, wear the fragrances, as Manny from Cascade Scents would say. Wear your fragrances. Today, my scent of the day is a Senzia Pour Homme by Loewe. Tremendous fragrance, absolutely tremendous. Would you believe this bottle's 150 ml? It's big and round. Camera is picking that up because it's big enough text. Isla de Java. I think that's in Isla de Java. I want to say that's the island of Java. Aromatic again. Beautiful citrus. I don't think you can get these bottles anymore, which is a shame. But it's absolutely great. There's another Loewe sat right next to it. That's Pour Homme. There is a similar top to both of these, but they go in different directions. This has got more stuff like lavender. It's got juniper in it as well. Very fresh. It's a Spanish cologne. Would you like? Spanish houses are quite influential. Look at, like, is it Anthony Puig? I know how to say his last name. I can't remember his first name. No, that's right, yeah. There's another influential Spanish cologne, Quorum. Oh, how do I say it? It's Antonio Puig. I beg your pardon. Sorry, Mr. Puig. But yes, the, like, Spanish houses I've figured out on, like, Spanish smells are quite influential, you know. I think Prada's a Spanish house as well. As we see, Prada emanating from the back. I was tempted to wear that this week as well because I find Prada Amber Pour Homme quite warming. But yes, this is what I'm wearing today. A fantastic Spanish Pour Homme cologne fragrance. Brilliant. First time I've worn it this year. Anyway, that has been my fragrance rotation. It has taken particularly long today. Sorry about that. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon.